Hello everyone, welcome to IBM BAW training series. In last video, I have explained you about what is the use of tracks in BAW. So in this video, I'll explain you by creating a track by using BAW tool. To show you practically, so I'll be using this account opening application as a example. So we have a account opening process application. So for this application, I'll create a tracks and show you how we can use tracks in the real time. When you when you log into the process center or a workflow center, so you will be able to see here a process apps. So you just click on this process app. When you click this process app, so you have to move to manage tab. Under the manage tab, so by default, so it will be restricted to user to create a tracks. So mainly thing you have to allow user to create a track. So for that you have to check this box. So that is nothing but when you check this box, so the system will allow you to create a tracks. After checking this one, so just go back to the process application. So go to process apps, then open here. So when you open here, first thing what we need to do, so by default it will be for us main track will be created initially. So just what I will do first, I will create uh, uh, I'll make changes in this application. Just open in the designer. So we can say we are in the phase one. So that is nothing but, so first thing, our development team is there in the phase one. Then, so what we'll do, initially we will work in the main track. That is what I am doing here now. So I opened here the account opening application. So if you see here, nothing artifacts got created. So what happens now, development team will work on this particular process application, and they will build this process application now. Okay. So to build this application, just I'll create a dummy service. I'll see create user uh, CHS. CHS I'll create. Then what I will do to demonstrate this track. So I will take a snapshot, which is snapshot one. Okay. So that is nothing but in the real time, we have finished the development, which is phase one development. So from this notepad, you can see we are under the phase one development. So we have finished the development for phase one. So after the finishing the phase one development team will take a snapshot, which is I created as a snapshot one. Now here you can see the snapshot got created. Okay, that is nothing but we have completed the phase one development. Once the phase one development is completed, so we have to deploy this particular snapshot into higher environment server, something like test environment, UAT and production. So for that, so just I'll just explain you about deployment part in the next video in our incoming videos. So first what I will do, I will deploy this phase one snapshot, which is snapshot one into test environment. Okay, then deployment is done. It's in progress. So okay, now the snapshot one is deployed to test environment. That is nothing but version one. Okay, same thing I'll deploy into UAT environment. So let's consider we pass the all the test cases and testing team has the happy with our development. Now what we'll do, we'll move our code to UAT. Okay. So once we move a snapshot to UAT, that is nothing but we are done with all the issues, and testing team is happy with the solution. So only thing is pending is the customer has to validate the application. That is nothing but user has to test test in the test UAT environment. Okay. So during that time, so we need to start with the phase two development now. Okay, because that is nothing but UAT. We are moved a code to UAT is nothing but we are 99% the code is stable, and and all the testing is completed, and only thing is pending is, so user has to test it and we have to deploy it to the production. So during that time, we have to start the phase two development. Okay. So you can see it is deployed to UAT. So that is nothing but development team has to work on phase two. So for that, what we need to do, we are gonna create a, we are not gonna touch a existing track, which is a main track. Okay, and we will create a branch from the main track. From the main track or from the main branch, we will create a new track or a branch, and from inside that branch or a track we'll start the development. Okay, where that is phase two development now. So for that, if you click here, you will get an option to create a new track. So you have to give a um, um, track name. I name it as track 1. Okay, I'll just create it. I created the track now. So here you can see in the drop down there are two tracks are active. One is main track and track 1. Okay, now I'll go back. So to the process apps, when I click in the designer, here you can see track 1 got created. Now I'll start the phase 2 development. So I'll just open the phase 2 development as a developer. I'll create some extra CHS as part of phase 2 development. I say that phase 2 CHS. Okay, done. So now I done with phase 2. Okay, but what happened, our scenario, if you go back, so now we are in the phase 2 development. I created the track 1, but what happens, the user has observed some issues, which is, there are some issues in the snapshot 1, which is we deployed in the UAT. Okay, which is snapshot 1, which we deployed as part of phase 1. So then we have to do a fix, and we have to deploy it again, we have to deploy it to UAT. So for that, what we need to do, so either you can directly in the main track contains the snapshot 1 changes, directly you can change in the main track and take a snapshot 2 and deploy to UAT. That is a one option. Otherwise, so you don't want to touch a main track. Okay, let's consider you want to take a separate tags track for a bug fixes. Okay, that is also possible. So I'll just explain you the second scenario where by creating a new track, and inside that I'll include the fixes. For that, I'll go back again. So now again I need to go to workflow center. So under the workflow center, I need to open this account opening process app and click on that. So when I open from this snapshot 1, I'll create a new track, which is a track 2 and UAT bug fix. UAT bug fix track. Okay. So now I created. So here you can see when you open here there is a one more track got created, which is track 2. Okay. So on the top of snapshot 1, so I'll fix the UAT changes, UAT issues. So for snapshot 1, um, I based upon snapshot 1, the track 2 got created. So here you can see there are two screens. One is test CHS. Okay. So that is a test user test user CHS is under the track 1. So what I'll do, I'll create new CHS, which is UAT. I'll call it as UAT fix. Okay, then I fix the issue. Okay, so after fixing the issue, I need to deploy it. So for that, I need to take a snapshot from track 2. Okay, I'll go back and I'll take a new snapshot, which is snapshot 2. Okay, and I'll create a snapshot 2 now. Okay, it's got created, which is version 2. And now I'll go back here to the workflow center, then open this, open means you click on this process app. Then if you change this track right from the drop down, so here you can see snapshot 2 got created. So this I need to install it in from test first, then testing team will test it again. Then after the testing team test the changes, then it will move to UAT. For those fixes will move to UAT as part of bug fix track. Okay. Okay, same snapshot I'll deploy in UAT. Okay, now after the post completion of testing, so same snapshot I'll deploy it, which is a UAT bug fix snapshot. Okay, This is done. So now what happens? These changes we have to include in the phase two track. Okay, that is where we have a two option now. So whatever the changes which are there in the track 2 and snapshot 2, that changes we have to include in the track 1, which is a phase 1, sorry, phase 2 changes, which contain the phase 2 changes. Otherwise, so we can consider, phase track 2 as a default track, and we can copy phase 2 changes in track 2. So that is also possible. So but I'll go with first option, which is a better option. What are the bug fixes we'll do, that will include in the phase 2 changes. Okay, now I go back. When we go to track 2, right? Track 2, what changes I have included, that is UAT fix CHS I included. Okay, same thing, I'll go back. Manually you have to move it. So you have to open the track 1, which is a phase 2 development. um, then here I need to create service. Okay, which is manually I need to, by referring a um, track track 2. So I need to manually add those changes in the track 1, which is a phase 2 changes. Okay, so once we added, then what happens if the development is completed, phase 2 development is completed, and then you can create a new snapshot, which is I'll name it as snapshot 3 and phase 2 changes. Okay, then the snapshot got created. So I'll go back again to the process center. When I open or when I click on that process app here, you can see in the track 1 there is a new snapshot is created, which is snapshot 3. Okay, but the base code is snapshot 1. From this snapshot we have created a track, but the latest changes which includes the phase 2 is, that is snapshot 3. Okay, this snapshot we can deploy into either test environment or UAT environment, based upon the changes we completed in the phase 2. Okay, that's all for this video. So thank you for watching. See you in next video.